Mabuhay, Kamustika. Welcome, how are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea, currently in the Philippines on vacation. This video I'm calling Ready, Set, No? What's it going to take? This video is about the hesitancy that you may or may not be feeling about pursuing a Filipina. I know there are a lot of guys that have said that they're interested in a Filipina, and they've heard they make great wives, and they get to a certain point and they get stuck for whatever reason, and then they back off and they don't pursue. Or maybe they've been on a dating site for several years, and I don't personally think it takes that long to find somebody if you make it a priority, invest a lot of time in it. But let's talk about some things that could be holding a man back. It's an exciting opportunity to pursue and marry a Filipina, but sometimes a man starts tapping the brakes. This could be because maybe you have second thoughts about the price. I know there are free dating sites in Asia, and I found my wife on Christian Filipina, and people talk about it being too expensive, but I think I've done a video that's probably released already about, I think I called it Marrying a Filipina, Was It Worth It? And we talk about the money and the time and so on, but also what I have received in return. So somebody could have second thoughts about the price, and not only the price, but it costs some money to immigrate a woman over here, depending how many times you travel there. You'll have to get her from the Philippines to your country. If you live outside the Philippines, there's lots of different immigration costs and green card fees and adjustment of status if you do a fiancé visa. We're almost done with all of that stuff, other than citizenship if my wife decides to do that. It's a long process, but nothing better than finding a good woman. I've personally been on 4 dating sites, 2 of them twice. They weren't very successful. The interaction for me on Christian Filipina was all that I can handle. It was overwhelming. I don't think anyone who found a wife on Christian Filipina is regretting the price. The women are polite and fun, easy to chat with. Every single one of them were. Yes, we got married very quickly, but I did talk to 4 or 5 women, and I just had to leave them behind and focus on my now wife, and I'm very glad I did. I think the women there are classy, and I still get a congratulatory remark now and then on getting married, and they say they hope they can find a husband too. Now, have you considered the high cost of being alone? Loneliness, frustration, lack of purpose, the feeling that you're missing out. Maybe you're missing out on God's will, no intimacy, no female companionship, and we were made for those things. Could it be you begin to realize you really can find a Filipino and start to get nervous about the whole process? Maybe you're just unsure of what the whole process is. For me, the Christian Filipina staff answered all of my questions. Even as I worked through the profiles, if something I wasn't sure about, something they wrote, something they said, I would just call up the staff and ask them. Because I wanted things to be clear. When there's a difference in a main language and a different culture, yeah, there can be some misunderstanding. So they answered all my questions. Maybe you're uncomfortable about traveling to the Philippines. The Christian Filipina staff can help you with that too. I would suggest hiring a travel agent. Some people like to just do it on their own. The travel agent can give you all the details of traveling overseas and going through customs and checking in, and just maybe some tips about how to travel that you might not be aware of yourself. Maybe they can help you get the best price on traveling. But I can understand being uncomfortable going to the Philippines. We're here now for my 3rd time in 4 years in the Philippines. I sleep very well here for some reason. Maybe it's because the sun comes up so early and it goes down so early, but I sleep well. And excuse me, it's a beautiful country, except for the pollution, which doesn't help a bad cough already. This is my wife's home, so she's having a ball, she's having a blast, and there are times when I just let her go by herself to do the things she needs to do so I don't kind of get in the way. Because we're here for her. This is all about her. So perhaps you're uncomfortable with the thought of marrying a younger Filipina. I try to help with that with videos that talk about a large age gap. Are you not sure it's a good idea to bring her to your country? We live in America, and that's something I talk about in videos, particularly the one that says why you should bring your Filipina to America. There's lots of good reasons to do that. Do you dread the thought of having to maybe explain to other people what you were doing looking for a woman in a third world country? Perhaps even a much younger one? I have a video about that too. I can't remember off the top of my head what it's titled, but if you look through the playlist, you can get the information on the titles. I've always been up front. You know, I guess I feel that way. I get in front of the criticism, and then I don't have to deal with it. I just tell everybody, yeah, this is why I'm looking the Philippines. I couldn't find anybody in America for whatever reason. Maybe God just ultimately is planning to have me marry this woman later in life and have a YouTube channel to help other people find love, marital love, when they have not been able to and are just on the verge of completely shutting it down. And you know, I'm pro-marriage, pro-Filipina, of course, and I want to be an encouragement to help people to get married. It's possible you're someone that suffered through a marriage that didn't work, and you're naturally hesitant to dive into another one. I came to the conclusion after 30 years of being alone that I had to do something different. The Philippines you know, isn't westernized to the degree it is in America, so you can still find a more traditional wife there, but you're going to need to talk about the exact qualities that you are looking for. There are a ton of choices in the Philippines. I didn't know that at the time, but God revealed that to me at the right time. Now I'm happily married for over 3 years. When you're ready to start the race, believe that at the finish line is your love beyond the sea.